not in the right place, and he's in for his own personal gain. Fair enough. As long as we're clear on that, you know. So obviously we need changes now in Tottenham, because you see, Tottenham, as you know, is people business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People want to see people want to feel people want to check people's hand, and you know what that kind of vibes. You know, Dave Lamb don't really have that. He just haven't got it. You see what I'm saying? He's good in other areas, and he's a brilliant person, talented, whatever, but he's not a people's person. And we have to be clear about that. He's not a people's person. This ties into the whole thing of the great man, the great man, Bernie Grant. I mean, what can you say about Bernie Grant?
Well, just to Bernie, David accused me recently, and I say accused me. He accused me.
About your story?
Yeah. David said in The Voice, in an article, recently, Tottenham doesn't need a smile and a handshake politician. And you know, it was good that David felt the need to talk about me, because it means that I'm in his radar. But I'll say this. It is more than just smile and handshakes. You need to deliver as well.
Yes, yes.
And I want him to understand that I have the gravitas to deliver as well. But you see, I've come from working class family. I wasn't given born a silver spoon like he wasn't, I know. But I have to, whatever I've got, I've had to work very hard for it. And you know, and I've done so many different jobs. And I can relate to, I'm in Tony's today, and I was talking to Tony earlier, where we are here today, and Tony was telling me about how multi-skilled he is, and he didn't use that word multi-skilled. He would be very humble and say that you know I just do bits and pieces. But I don't really want my people to say that anymore. I want them to use language like I'm multi-skilled. You know, I'm multifaceted. You know, because that's word there because that's what Tony is, who owns this barbershop, that you can do that many things. And likewise, I've had to be multifaceted to survive. You know, because you know, when unemployment recession hits our country, you know, if the Caucasian or indigenous person in this country is suffering, how much more the people who are not indigenous of this country are suffering? So you know, you can appreciate we have to work twice as hard. And I grew up with a mentality that said, you know, Neville, as a black man in this country, you'll always have to be twice as good as your white counterpart. Now, that wasn't negative. My mum and dad were not racist at all. But they were just telling me the reality of things. So I had to work twice as hard, get up twice as early, a lot earlier than everybody else, and work twice as long. So I understood that. You know, and I can remember, people don't know this, but I spent a year working as a bus conductor in Hackney many, many years ago. I spent a year, and I loved working as a bus conductor. So I know what it's like to be at the sharp end of shift work too, and working nights and things like that. So you know, and coming through that and becoming from bus conductor to a director, a sales director with 34 shops and 34 outlets under me as a sales director. To me, I'm proud of my achievements in my professional life as well. But what it says really is that anyone can do that, and I mean, you just have to have the belief. And you see what I think Bernie, and I'm going to go into the question of Bernie. Bernie was someone who, again, was passionate about his people.
Come again.
About his people.
That's right.
And that's what came through, and that's what burnt through Bernie.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the passion for his people.
Yeah.
Now, so he could probably get away with some things that other people will never get away with. He probably would have more license than other people, because his people knew that at his heart, at the core of his being, was his passion for people. So if he said some things that weren't politically correct, people would forgive him that. Even the indigenous people of the community, white, Asian, black, whatever, they all knew one thing: Bernie loved the people of Tottenham.
That's right.
And he supported the people of Tottenham.
Right.
And I think if Bernie was elected in any constituency, he would passionate those people. So he was a people person first. And that to me is maybe seen as an old-fashioned way of politics. But I believe, you see, it's the politics of the local politics has a direct bearing on national politics, the way national politics has a direct bearing on global politics. So we have to look at the micro before we go to the macro and understand that. And I think if we understand that and work with, if we get our communities right on a micro level, it impacts the nation. Likewise, we have to understand this, and I must touch this as well. I am fed up of this attitude that a lot of us have in our society, and I call it the trickle-down economy. We believe often that the rich they will trickle down wealth to us in our area. It doesn't trickle down. This trickle down economy mentality doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It doesn't get to our people. And I believe people like Bernie would have been standing up and talking about how we can best improve the economic wealth of our community as well. And that is something that I'm passionate about. And I believe Ernie being alive today, it had been something he would have been really, really passionate about, i.e. the unemployment in our area. You know, 16, 24-year-olds, we have one of the highest unemployments in the UK in Tottenham, and we have the Minister of Skills as our MP. Does that make sense? You know, right now, we have to understand that, you know, it said currently, yesterday, I read the stats yesterday, breaking news yesterday, that unemployment among 16 to 24-year-olds, black people, 3 times as much to their counterparts. Now look, whether you're white, green, blue, pink, look at those stats. Something is not right. You know, sometimes you have to understand as well. Look at the prison population. You know, we make up something like 2.2% of the national. The nation, and yet we make up 12% of the prison population.
You know something right there, yeah.
Something, see, the balances are not right. You know, come on, you have to do maths to know it doesn't go in. So something is not right. So we have to address those issues and to have a whole knock-on effect to how we feel about ourselves and about how our young people perceive us, and you know, our young people not getting the mentoring from their the elders of the community, because the elders are out of work.
That's right.
And then it has a whole cycle.
That's
and then
right.
we have families, white families as well, by the way, who are growing up, you know, on the dole. Families in Tottenham are growing up never knowing anything than being on the dole. Families growing up a history of the dole queue. That we have to change, that cycle of unemployment.
Okay then, boy, Neville, this is just music to the ears, my brother. It's just rhythm we're at our for. I feel like having a party where you're reason with us. You know, just rhythm. I want to bring something to your attention, and to me it's very, very important that obviously that you know, as a black independent you know, canvas for Tottenham, right? Obviously that if we're talking about votes, you know, we're talking about votes. Obviously you just can't target just pure black people. You're talking about everybody, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, we have to be clear about that. And probably one of the chances that say you do get elected, right? Everyone's gonna come to you see? And so forth, black, white, and everything. So the question is now, I just want you to be clear on that, or explain to people them that it's important that you're not just black people, but everybody. So I think that's very, very important.
This is an area that is again one of my, you know, I have to make this so clear.
Yeah.
It's easy to see the colour of my skin, so that doesn't, it speaks for itself. So there's no need for me to have to voice that, because you can see it. Okay. But I embrace the diversity of our the community that we live in of Tottenham. We have probably one of the most rich, vibrant, multicultural communities in the whole of London. Over 183 different languages spoken in this area of Tottenham. We have a community that lives together, eats together. We have a community that lives virtually on top of each other. And really, we do not have race issues in Tottenham. We also have to look at other areas. Not only I embrace whether you're Asian, Turkish, you know, black, white, whatever colour you are, you know, we today have a social challenge that affects us all. Whether you're white, green, yellow skin, whatever skin you are, if you are in a certain economic status banding, you are affected.
That's right.
And so the effects of unemployment, of lack of jobs, impacts everybody. We know that. However, the reason why I've highlighted some of the stats is because they've been highlighted nationally, i.e. those are the national stats. But certainly, you know, white people, Asian people, all of us together right now are at the mercy of what I call big bankers, politicians, you know, who really have forgotten people, have forgotten the good working class people. So I support working class people, but I support industry too. And understand that you know, without industry, you know, we need industry, we need business, we need to support business. You know, and the one thing I'm going to be doing in Tottenham, especially in Haringey, is seeing how we can create and develop and support business, more business, not just huge business like the Tesco's and Sainsbury's and all the big stores, but also